Hi, old school comics again. This time I want to look at Ultimate X-Men Blockbuster. This is a trade paperback that basically collects one story arc that goes from issue 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. I actually don't have the trade paperback, but I do have the individual issues. And I don't believe that the trade actually added any material or anything like that. So let's talk about this story. Basically, this story is everything that I actually kind of um, well, I'll put it this way: it's everything. It's very typical of late '90s, early 2000s, modern superhero storytelling, but it's done well. The story is by Brian Michael Bendis. Most people know Brian Michael Bendis. He's been around for a number of years, at least the mid to late '90s. He's famous for his work on Ultimate Spider-Man. He did a long run of Daredevil. He does a comic, creator-owned comic called Powers. He's done some indie stuff, Jinx, Torso. Um, a big head honcho at Marvel these days. He gets to sit in on those consulting meetings when they do these big Hollywood movies and things like that. Right now, he's writing like almost all the Avengers books. All 27 of them. And David Finch has probably been around for close to the same number of years. Pretty popular Marvel guy, pretty popular DC guy, and I think before he went to Marvel and DC, I think he did some stuff from Top Cow, um, but I'm not too familiar with that stuff. I think it was Magdalena. I'm not too sure. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, the story is it's the Ultimate X-Men. Basically, Ultimate Wolverine is hanging around a diner, and he's attacked by this paramilitary group. And you're not really too sure if they're with the government, if they're the feds, if they're with the army, if they're mercenaries, if they're bad guys, if they're good guys. All you really know is that they hate Wolverine and they want to kill him. Spider-Man gets excuse me, Spider-Man gets involved somehow, and there's also guest appearance by uh, Daredevil, and then of course the X-Men show up at the end. This is really interesting. It's really well done. This kind of has like the whole decompression thing going on, but it's done very well here. At no point did I read an issue or read a chapter and think like, wow, that was 20 pages of some dude picking his nose. What a ripoff. Or that was 20 pages of splash pages that don't really advance the story. I think the whole slowing down of the story and the plot actually works, and it works in a way that gives you a deeper insight and deeper meaning into the happenings going on. The dialogue is for the most part I think is pretty good here. The characters talk in a close to naturalistic way. They talk a lot more like real people might talk as opposed to the way comic book characters talk. And the dialogue is for the most part interesting. It's funny when it's supposed to be funny. It's kind of deep when it's supposed to be deep, and it all the dialogue pretty much expresses how the particular characters view their situation. It shows you their personality. It shows you how they're reacting to the situations as they're going along. Like I said, not very plot heavy, but as far as the characterizations and the ideas and themes are going on, it's really rich. Matter of fact, one thing I really, really like about the overall message of the story is that that your actions do have consequences, and those consequences will follow you around for a long, long time. But on the more hopeful side, though, there's also the idea that, yes, you are responsible for your past, but you're also responsible for your future. And it might be hard work to kind of change things around and make that future better, but you can do that if you make that decision. So I really like his Brian Michael Bendis writing here. I really wish he would bring a little bit more to that in some of his more recent work. The art here is by David Finch. I really like it. It's really detailed, really crisp, and it's kind of gritty, but not too much so where it looks murky or muddy or you can't understand what's going on. It's not, you know, really, it's not uber scratchy like some other artists out there. It's really slick and dynamic at the same time too. So I really like it, and I think credit should also be given to the colors. The colors here are by Dave Stewart. Bright when they need to be bright, dark when they need to be dark. Lots of interesting blends and yeah, blends. I was going to say washes. I don't know if that's really the right term to use here, but the coloring is very interesting and it's very eye-catching. It's very dynamic. I really love it. The production values on this particular comic are really great. They're really excellent and they're really top-notch. So definitely, check it out. If you've got a friend who's in the Ultimate X-Men, get them to get that person to let you borrow it or whatever. Now, one of the things I don't like about this comic is it's Ultimate X-Men, and it doesn't feel like an X-Men comic book at all. What it really feels like is Marvel team up featuring Wolverine and Spider-Man, guest starring Daredevil and the X-Men. For about 2/3 of the story, the X-Men are not even in it. And I mean that literally. The individual issues, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 stories, or I'm sorry, 4 issues, and the X-Men show up at the last page of that 4th issue, and then, you got 2 more issues to deal with. But I mean, like I said, it's not an X-Men comic. It's Bendis having fun writing Spider-Man and Wolverine. Like I said, Daredevil's in it as a cameo. Oh, and the Ultimate Black Widow also makes a interesting cameo as well. But like I said, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more on the positive side. I know Bendis is a hot shot these days, and a lot of people hate what he's done to, like the Avengers and things like that. And to me, I don't think he's terrible or anything like that. But maybe the Avengers haven't been really Avengery, but I wanted to talk about something positive. So, check it out if you get a chance. Like I said, you can probably find the individual issues at any local comic book store. Definitely you can find the trades there. You can probably find the trades at like a mainstream bookstore like Borders or anything like that. So great. Once again, thanks for listening. Check it out. Leave whatever comments you want. Please check out my new blog. I'll put the link down there in the description box. Okay, so thanks, and you have a great day.